Hello, my cool cats and kittens. Wrong video. We are back doing another book review for spooky season. I have one more book left for spooky season, and it's not I Am Legend. It's gonna be something else. But this is I Am Legend. So, yeah. I Am Legend is really good. And shall I say, it's also legendary? Legend is written by Richard Matheson, which is the same author who wrote Hell House. And I read Hell House last year, and I'm not gonna lie, Hell House was really good. And so is I Am Legend. I didn't even know he wrote I Am Legend. I didn't even know I Am Legend was a book because I just saw the Will Smith movie when I was a kid, and I was like, this is like the greatest movie of all time. But I also thought Avatar was really good. And then now, as an adult, I'm like, Avatar is not actually that good. But I Am Legend still is good. It still slaps. So going into this book, I actually expected it to be like the movie, but the premise of it is still where you got the main character, Robert Neville, is all by himself, and that's it. But in the movie, you got Will Smith with the dog through the whole movie, and of course, it makes you sad when you think about the dog. But in this book, there's a dog, but the dog's only in it for like 2 pages, which is so sad. This book starts out with Robert Neville already there, all by himself already. Like, it really sets the tone that he is just alone. And Richard Matheson does a really good job at writing a book that is so depressing and lonely, and you actually get to enjoy this character because this book is literally just about Robert Neville. And the differences with the book and then with the movie is one's about vampires and the other one's zombies. Even though people talk about like how the I Am Legend movie is about vampires, but they're like vampire zombies, which doesn't make any sense to me because I'm like, I don't think that's how it works. Anyways, but with this one, it's just strictly vampires. And throughout the book, Robert is actually trying to figure out how to A, cure them, or B, figure out ways of how they die, because they each die different ways. He was like testing different things. And there was a funny part where it's like, because in vampire lore, if it's like moving water, vampires can't cross it. So he gets like a trough and puts like a hose in it and starts doing running water. And the vampires like look at it and they just start hopping over it and making fun of him. And I'm like, dang, this is kind of savage, but it's also like amazing because it's just kind of funny. But when I was reading this book, I actually breezed through this book. I read this book in about a day and a half. It's only 170 pages, which is great. And I expected it to be a lot like the movie, like I said, because first going in there, you expect it to be like the movie because if you watch the movie first, then you're gonna expect it to be like the book.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I did enjoy this book all in all. I give it a 5 out of 5 stars because it's easily one of my favorite books of the year so far. Because this month of October alone was kind of like weak, but this book, amazing. It is sad. It is really depressing. So it's like if you are struggling with any of those things, it might not be that book for you right now. But I'm telling you, this book is a banger, and he does a good job at not actually. This is gonna sound weird because usually when I'm reading books, I like to figure out, oh, the past, what happened to him before. But like I said, it's only 170 pages, and Richard Matheson doesn't actually focus on that too much. There's some parts, like little small like subchapters, that he does kind of go back to it, but it doesn't like he doesn't like focus on it too much because Robert doesn't actually want to think about it because to him that's a different life. So to me, I'm like, this is so different. This is such a different take than regular books that are about apocalypse, where a lot of people like to think about that stuff because it's like, oh, it's the only time they were happy. But with Robert, he's like, that it's dead. The past is dead. So I'm like, essentially, I'm dead from that. And I'm like, wow, that's actually kind of a cool thing and so different than what you are used to. So I thought it was a really interesting way to approach the loneliness and solitude of what he was doing. And to me, I think he nailed it. I'm a really big fan of Richard Matheson. He's 2 for 2 on my books. Granted, who knows about his other works? I haven't read any of his other works, so I have no idea. But right now, two for two knockouts, and I'm pretty happy with it. But all in all, like I said, this book is great. If you are dealing with loneliness or depression, maybe you shouldn't read this book yet. Make sure you're in a better headspace then. Like the book doesn't like drill it in your head, but he does. He drinks a lot because he's just so alone and stuff. So it's like, yeah, you can read it, but if you are dealing with that stuff and it's hard for you, maybe you shouldn't read it. Maybe you should just wait and maybe it'll read it at a different time. For me, I really did like this book. It's easily a 5 out of 5 for me, and it might be in my top 10 favorite horror novels. But yet again, I'm the type that doesn't put two of the same authors in there because that's just not fair. And so that means it's either this or it's gonna be Hell House. So I gotta really think about that. But all in all, I really did enjoy this book. I think it was a knockout. Like I keep saying, it's a knockout. And yeah, I would recommend all of you guys go check it out as for yourself. If you made it to the end of this video, I do appreciate it. Make sure you guys check out all my socials down below. Check out my 2 books. Yes, 2 books. And so check out my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. I'll follow you back. Add me on Goodreads. I'm so close to 150 friends on Goodreads. And I just want to see what you guys are reading. And you guys see what I'm reading currently. All the time. Why not? I like to get tropical with it. But, of course, last but not least, make sure you guys stay safe, stay hungry, and tell someone you love them. I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.